Hi Jess! I really appreciated your video on Monday, and there was so much I wanted to say in response, but I had already planned my video for Tuesday, so I decided to take some more time to think about it and publish my response today. This is definitely something that's been on my mind quite often, so you're not alone. I do recognize that the general push of society is towards getting a career, family, and house all squared away by the time you're 30, having 2.5 kids, and working at the same job until you're 65, and then retiring and finally getting to travel and do all the stuff that you always wanted to do. However, not only do I think that that model is inaccessible to a whole lot of people, but I think it sounds super boring. Waiting till you're old to travel? Working the same job for 40 years? Sure, it would mean stability and a lot less worry about what's going to happen next, but this world has so much to offer, and you never know how your interests and opinions and opportunities will change, so I think it's perfectly fine to not know what you're going to do in the next 5 years or to change directions after you've done the same thing for a while. In my mind, success is accomplishing whatever you find value in doing. If your heart's desire is to stay at home and take care of those 2.5 kids and be the best mom you can be, then I say that's great. But if you would rather have a high-powered career instead, I say go get 'em. I can tell you that even as recently as my first year of college, my goals and hopes for the future were very different than they are now. I wanted to be just a mom and maybe have a part-time job or work at home. And now that I've finished college and learned so much more and read so much more, I'm of the opinion that I didn't do all of that for nothing. I'm going to do something with it. I'm going to use my degree however God gives me the opportunity to do that. Maybe I'll get a master's degree in worship or communications or ministry, or maybe I won't. I think you know this, but I still really, really want to travel to Europe and see all the things that I've heard about from Aaron. And I still want to learn new things all the time, even though I'm out of school. I think for me, most of the pressure to accomplish things actually comes from myself. I have all these goals and aspirations to do all the things, and this may sound kind of weird, but I often think of it as trying to become a kind of person who has read all of these books and learned to play these instruments and done all these things. And sometimes I really stress myself out by how huge all of my to-do lists are, and at those times, I need to slow down and remind myself that I don't have to get everything done right now. I'm still just 24 like you, and I still have a good 2/3 of my life ahead of me. Sometimes I forget to remind myself of this, and Aaron has to remind me instead. And he reminds me that I'm just fine the way I am. Did I tell you that I finally decided what to put on the front page of my bullet journal? These are 2 quotes that Hank Green has said at some point during his vlogs, and as soon as I heard them, I wrote them down so I would remember them. And to me, it made a lot of sense to put them here as a reminder. The first one says, getting it done is success. Getting it perfect is not, because perfect doesn't exist. And the second one is, the value that you bring to the world largely comes with what you love and who loves you. As someone who wants to accomplish a lot of things and in general bring some sort of value to the world, these quotes have comforted me a lot. They remind me not to stress so much about getting it all done right now or about doing things perfectly. Just try to do what you love and take care of the people and things that you care about, and I think success is well within your reach. You also asked about the pressure that Aaron and I feel as a young married couple, and in that area, we've been really fortunate to have super chill parents. Both his and mine are just happy that we're secure and doing what we want to be doing right now, and they also step in if we ever need help with anything. And I think they realize that even though we're married and living on our own means, we're still figuring out how to do this whole adult thing before we get too crazy. They haven't pressured us to have kids anytime soon, and in fact, a few times they have encouraged us to wait a few years before thinking about that. So far, our plan is to wait 4 to 5 years before we even consider starting a family, and they fully support that. We both really, really want to be parents eventually, and I still get kind of giddy whenever I see a super cute baby. But there's a lot of other things that we want to do first, and we want to enjoy as much time as possible with just the two of us. I can't say anyone has really pushed us to have kids anytime soon, but we've gotten the big question a number of times since we got married, even a few weeks later. When are you planning to have kids? I'm very glad that no one has been really pushy about it, but I'm pretty firm in my belief that people should only try to have kids when they're ready. And it's nobody else's business when or if they do. So obviously, we don't have everything figured out. We don't know for sure where we'll be living or working in the next 5 years, but I believe that's perfectly okay. We believe in and serve a God who sees every step we ever have or ever will take, and we trust His providence and grace to carry us through life. We have each other, and we have great friends like you to help us figure out the craziness of life. So I'm going to go ahead and let tomorrow worry about itself. But remind me that I said that the next time I get stressed out. Jess, I love you, and I'll see you not tomorrow, but Monday. February is over, and life marches on.